Good morning, Kimberly.
Good morning.
Good morning, all you cool cats and kittens out there. Hey, you know what was that called? Not lion, Tiger King.
Haven't seen the show yet at all.
You need to watch it. It's weird. It's crazy, and it's like you think it's like an actual like.
It's
movie
very
or
funny.
something.
I really don't watch. We don't really watch a lot of TV, so
No.
That was great. It's worth it. You should definitely check it out.
Yeah.
who said that? Matthew?
Oh yeah, that's great. You need to check it out. That made my morning right there.
Will it make me
Yeah,
smile?
it's very funny. I enjoyed it.
It's got some vulgar language, but if
Oh,
you
yeah.
get past that, it's great. It's hilarious.
What channel is it on?
It's on Netflix.
Netflix.
Oh, see, I don't have that.
All right. Well, I will have to download it and give you a copy of it because it's funny.
Is it like a continuing series or what is it?
It's a murder mystery.
Oh, is
Kind of
it?
I mean, would you consider that?
Yeah, they call it a docu-series, but it's not like it's like
Is
8
it,
episodes.
is it like an everyday something you have to go check into or to continue it, or is it something that you can just come into it and continue?
Yeah, you can watch it all at once.
Oh, is it like one show only?
It's 8 episodes, but it's on Netflix, so you can.
It's about an hour.
Yeah, you can watch them all at one time.
Oh, really?
They're
but,
tigers.
but is it an hour, 1 hour for each show?
Yeah, about.
Oh, so it's 8 hours worth.
Yeah.
It's worth
Okay.
it.
All right. I might
Yeah,
have to-
it's funny. I will try my best to figure out a way you could watch it, Chef, because it's crazy. It's a
I
crazy
don't
show.
know. But anyway, it's a good day. How about yesterday? Kind of a nice warm day. The sun shined all day long. Good day to go for a walk or get out of the house for a little bit, and then remember distancing for sure, but kind of an idea of doing different projects. Do something, motivate yourself. What is a good day for today for us? The word is motivation.
Yep.
But if we don't motivate ourselves, guys, it ain't gonna happen. You know, you've got to motivate and be constructive. You've got this downtime. Maybe you need to redo a recipe file, or I mean, anything in your life. Doesn't have to be something to do with cooking, but do something that you could restructure your room or restructure something. Because you'll always say, well, I should have, I could have. Well, why don't we just do it? You know, because motivation is such a key word in all of our lives. We've got 16 today. Good morning. Come on board. Chef Robin was sent out that email about attendance, Chef Cliff. Did you see that?
Yes, I did.
Yeah. We really need to get our people back, our students back, to understand the reality of and coming to class. We all have some things that we kind of. Good morning, Randall. Good to see you.
See y'all too. Can y'all hear me?
Okay.
Okay, cool.
Yes, we can hear you.
Perfect.
Yep. James Francis, are you there? I know Matthew's there. I heard Kendricks. Were you there?
Hey, Chef. Yeah, I'm here. I'm setting up coffee.
Yes, Chef, I
okay.
was here.
James, why don't you get me a cup while you're at it?
I got you.
Okay. But I do take decaf. Raina, Roro,
Good morning, Chef.
How are you today?
I'm fine. How are you?
Okay, you don't sound fine. Tired?
No, I'm good.
Yeah. Any questions about the project?
Yes, for the spreadsheet, is it one recipe per sheet, or I can put all the recipes on one sheet?
No,
One recipe per sheet, but there's like on the bottom of the spreadsheet, it has like a recipe 1, recipe 2, or 1, 2, 3, all the way up to 9 at the very bottom. So you can click each tab.
Oh, okay, then that's good to know, because I was about to say, if I had to make multiple spreadsheet, they're going to be annoying.
No,
No, they're already done up for you
Okay.
to get to the bottom
Do
line
And-
you
today.
want me to show you?
Oh, no, I got the concept on how to do a spreadsheet already. I was just trying to make
no,
sure,
no,
because
like that one spreadsheet that we already have. Do you want me to show you where each spreadsheet is?
oh, I'm looking at it now. I see it.
Okay, cool. I just want to make sure you knew.
Robert, Irvine,
And it's due tomorrow, right, Chef?
No.
Oh, I thought it was due tomorrow.
No, it's due like the last day of the, like the last week of the block.
Oh, okay, so I still got time. Because
Yeah.
I'm trying to figure out, like, the recipes that I want.
Yeah,
So I
no.
was just trying to make sure.
No, this is a whole, like, all the way through the course. That's why, like, we still haven't gone through a lot of this stuff yet, or talked about it, just because it's kind of a process.
Okay. Well, I already did most of the stuff. I just didn't know, was it due tomorrow or something
Well, look
like
at
that.
you, man. You are like way ahead of the game.
Man, I don't have nothing else to do with my life, so being stuck in quarantine, you don't got no choice but to just go and do a lot of stuff.
I completely agree with you. I understand.
All right, Chef. I'm here.
Who's that?
that's Robert.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Loretta, are you okay today?
Yes, Chef, I'm fine.
Good. Glad
I'm
to
hoping
hear.
my. Go ahead, Laura.
No, I was just asking, how are y'all?
Good. I'm just hoping my backdrop doesn't fall today.
Wow.
My little backdrop, it fell yesterday.
Oh, I missed it.
You can see how it's kind of hanging not so well.
Masking tape helps a lot.
Yeah, I just.
Look,
Let me see.
look at mine up there
Oh yeah, gotcha.
on the thing.
Yeah.
And that heavy duty masking tape really makes a difference.
And I'm realizing how bald I am. Yeah.
That's the first sign of getting old, Chef.
I'm getting really old though.
Or you've been rubbing your forehead too much.
All right. Are we got 17?
Yeah.
Chef, I'm here.
Keon?
Yes, I'm here.
Oh, good. Your girlfriend promised you would be there, right?
Yes, ma'am.
You better be. Mia,
Hello.
morning.
Sorry, what did you say?
I said good morning.
Oh, good morning. You cut off.
Okay. Marcel. Good morning. Ivan,
Good morning, morning, Chef.
how are you?
I'm doing good. How about you?
What's going on?
Not too much.
Not too much?
Not too much. Just
Have you been slacking all day or are you motivated to do something today?
motivated today.
Oh, I like that. That's music to my ears. How about James Francis? No answer?
Oh, I'm here, Chef. I'm just getting the kitchen wrapped up, getting your decaf coffee to you.
the coffee, right?
That's
That
right.
that you're supposed to send over.
I only got high octane here right now, so I'm getting your decaf brewed up.
Okay, you're trying to figure that out, okay. Where is he? Jonas. Jonas, how are you today?
I'm good. How
Are you good? You just wake up?
No,
You've been up for a while?
Yes.
Okay. Are you a morning person?
Yeah, you could say that.
I think a lot of the chefs sometimes are the morning people. And then they work late at night and they get up early. We're just self-motivated to get up and be productive, correct?
Yes.
Okay. You make me think because you always stop before you answer.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, see? Kind of getting to know a little bit about you, right?
A little bit.
A little bit, okay. All right, we're ready to start?
Let's do it.
Motivation. Get motivated and stay motivated. Boy, that's a challenge by itself, isn't it? How many people are motivated in their life? I mean, really think about this and be realistic about it. There's no judging. Do you need somebody to motivate you or are you self-motivated? How many? Put your thumbs up.
I'm definitely self-motivated.
Who said that?
Ken.
Kendricks.
Okay. Do you need somebody to motivate you or are you self-motivated?
When it come down to working out in the gym, I prefer somebody to be there to motivate me because I get lazy. But if it come down to everyday achievement, I can motivate myself.
Really? That's good. You know, that is really a first sign that you can do anything you want to do. If you sometimes have to wait on somebody to motivate you or jumpstart you, as they would say, would you? Then you have to really set yourself up to get motivated or surround yourself with people that call you or make you motivated. So it's not being bad if you can't motivate yourself. But remember, if you don't get, you are not a person that doesn't get motivated, surround yourself with people that are. You know, maybe your partner. Remember, opposites attract a little bit sometimes. It does make it work. Do you get excited when you start a project? Exactly what you were talking about, Kendricks, right? Do you get excited when you start a project? Or
Correct,
start
Chef.
a kitchen?
Yes.
Really important. Or do you just drag in there and just pretend you're there? Your mind's not there, but your body is there doing things that you don't really want to do. Remember, the motivation is to find a job that you love to do. Really important. Motivation is an employee instinct, enthusiasm about the drive to accomplish activities related to work. Motivation is that internal drive that causes the individual to decide to take action. Wow, a mouthful right there. An individual motivation is influenced by biological, intellectual, social, and emotional factors. Are you a down person? Or are you always upbeat and found the solution? Kind of really important. An individual motivation influenced by, I gotta move this. Sorry. Influenced biological, okay, motivation is a complex force that can be influenced by external factors. Every individual person has a different motivation for working at a job. The reason for working are the individuals as the person but all people work together in a workplace. Provide something that need from work. Do you need that one-on-one? Do you need to go to work to learn something every day that motivates you? Wow, that's a line too. A need for learning, a need to be around people. But all people work because the workplace provides something that you need to work. Sometimes you obtain from your work impact for your moral or motivation and the quality of your life. Maybe someplace that you go to work is when you get a pat on the back. And when you're alone at home, nobody pats you on your back. Do you ever thought about that? It's a big thing to think about. Some people work for their love of work. How many of you love to work? I want a thumb up. How many people love to go to work?
Kind of depends.
Who said that? Kendricks, I figured it was you.
Of course.
Of course. Do you love to work, or do you like the people around that you work with?
That's also debatable.
Okay, debatable. That's a good one. That means no. Are they there to help all of you help each other to make it work? So personal and professional fulfillment. Is it a go away when you go to work? Is it something that you take away the stress from the home life? Do you think? Sometimes. Other
Great
people like,
distraction.
say that
It's
again.
a great distraction from your home life.
Yeah. You think that going to work releases it and don't worry about the home life? You think a lot of jobs are like that? James, what do you think?
I think it can. There's always a balance between work and home that you've got to find. I think especially times with chefs, it's hard to find that balance between work and life. Yeah, definitely a good distraction from home, but I think you need to be able to walk away from the work as well, which I think is hard in this line of work.
This job, being a chef, is not an easy one, guys. It's a demanding one. It's put pressure on the family. I promise you, I've lived it for 40 years. And so you have to have a partner or somebody around you that understands you and understands this profession. It's not that easy. Try it 20 years ago. A lot tougher then. People are more understanding today than they were 20 years ago. And that's what we try to aim for.
Chef,
Yeah.
do you feel like it's because you're female?
Oh, Lord. Don't open a box of worms. But
Is that a yes?
yeah, can of worms, yeah. But let me tell you, us women would not be where we are today if we didn't go through what we just went through. I mean, we're not just went through in the past. The women chefs are really who ran some of the kitchens. Not to say that the men chefs were not great chefs. Don't misunderstand me. They just didn't know how to communicate and pass it on. The chefs today have learned to pass it on and share, and especially with a woman chef, because usually a lot of times in the era that I worked at in the kitchen, in hotels and country clubs, there was always an executive chef which was a male. Not a problem. I'm not discriminating. And the kitchen, the person that was the executive sous chef that ran the kitchen was a female. 90% of the time, really. So we brought and letting this field open up. Look at the article. There's a program my son sent me yesterday on PBS or something like that, that is showing you that women chefs are really taking the field of being great. So there is always, you know, I believe that anywhere you work, there needs to be a fairness, a balance, and pluses and minuses. Again, I keep bringing that up, guys, the balance of what a kitchen is all about. Being very fair and making sure, I don't care if you're a woman or a man, if you do the job and you do it great, then you should be credited for it. And what you bring into the picture. Just because she's a female doesn't mean she's better than the male. I'm not saying that, because there's some male chefs that are outstanding. Outstanding. And they need to be there. But there's also women chefs that should be recognized. Loretta, do you understand?
Mm-hmm. And I was mainly talking about because, you know, in regards to the pressures of life, because you have to kind of run the household, you know, with children and all that, and still maintain the, yeah, I guess.
You guess.
Yeah.
Balancing it out a little bit. And that's double work for us. Because we got to please at home and then we got to come and please at work. But us women have multitasking skills too, Loretta. A lot better than some of the male chefs. But I worked for a chef for 15 years, and I used to call him my work husband, because you get to know him and the way he works, and then you go home to your own husband that has a different way of interpreting things. You get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Different culture, different way of living, but loving both. But then you've got to have your partner at home that understands the respectability and the job that you have. Tough decisions. Okay, enough of that. Some people work for the love of their work. Workaholics. How many of you are workaholics? Anybody? No? Wow. Robert. Anybody else? Lord Almighty, that's the new era. But that's okay. And you know, in a way, I like that, because I think, you know, I'm going to bring this back up again. I, as an immigrant, my mom always said to pay back, to give back, always back to America, for giving me and my family the advantage to come to America. Some of you don't understand what it is to be an American. Don't understand it and don't get it. But once you are an immigrant and you do become an American, there's always that thing in the back of your mind to say you have to pay back. I think my mom and my dad were they were workers. And for me, it was in the back of my mind to give back. I'm not saying I'm a good person. I'm not saying I try to be a good person, but I'm not saying that I'm a goody two-shoe. I'm not saying that. But I am grateful for one of the greatest countries in the world is America. For the dreams of the whole world to come here to learn what you're gonna learn. So we become workaholics because in our mindset that if you've got some free time, you've got to work, right? It's not good for everybody. You need to take time and chill. My kids keep telling me, chill, Mom. Or they'll call me and say, what are you doing? I've got to be doing something. We have to learn and make a mindset to slow down and be respectful of ourselves and enjoy what we like to do, not keep working all the time. Everybody kind of understand that picture? Am I rattling on too much? Or does it need to be affirmed to the point that you need to work when you work, and when you go home, you need to be respectful and enjoy time off? And that's hard for me to do. At 70, nobody's going to tell me to take time off. I've already been told I'm old. Remember, I've told you that what my son told me about me. Mom, you're old. Okay. That's the picture I have to get to understand, because I don't feel old. So other people like to accomplish goals and feel that they are contributing something larger than themselves. Remember exactly what I'm talking about. Something important. Overranging vision of what you can create. Some people have personal missions that accomplish through meaningful work. How many people that you know that are motivated usually are givers? How many of you raise your hand for that one? Givers. You're thinking about somebody else. How many people are hoarders and don't think about the other person? I don't want to see too many hands up on that one. Or are any more hands up for hoarders? So make sure you need to be the giver. And so when you say you're a giver, what does that mean? Remember, motivating somebody else to accomplish their goals. Hoarding doesn't mean all stuff to yourself. Hoarding means keeping it to yourselves, and motivating is giving it out. Kind of important, I would say. How many people say, I love my work? Hopefully. We've only got 19. I would love my work more if the numbers were going up. Others truly love what they do, or their clients do they serve. Some like the interaction with customers and co-workers. Other people fill their time with activities. Some workers like change, challenge, diversity, and diverse problems to solve. Are you a listener? If somebody's got a problem on the front line that doesn't know how to run the front line, are you the person that listens to that person to teach them something? Pass it on. Think. Other people like to fill their time with activities. Some workers like change, challenge, diverse problems to solve. As you can see, employees' motivation is an individual thing. Motivation. Are you the person that is the right person to motivate somebody to make them do things? Guess what? You might have to sweet talk them. Is that hurting you? Is that lifting somebody else up? Wow. What have you lost by bringing somebody up? In this world today, with all the issues that we have in this world, what is it to bring somebody up? Morning, Marcus.
Morning, Chef.
How are you?
All right. What about you?
Good, good. Whatever your personal reasons for working, the bottom line, however, is the most that everybody works for money. Woo! Humdinger, that vacation in Hawaii or someplace that you want to go. Hawaii's never been my thing. Anybody been to Hawaii? How many people have been to Hawaii? Not my thing either. The beach is mine, but I mean, I don't want to be in Hawaii to get to the beach. A lot closer, a lot cheaper for me. Chef, did you like Hawaii?
Yeah, it was good. I mean, it was like 20 some odd years ago. It was our honeymoon. Yeah, it was.
Great day.
Yeah, I mean, but it was good. It was good, but I haven't been back. It's an expensive flight, so I think there's other places I would like to go.
Good.
I mean, I would much rather go somewhere else than to Hawaii again. But I mean, it's gorgeous and beautiful. But
Going to work today?
Yeah, likely. I don't know.
They're calling or what?
Yeah.
Are they showing
Trent,
up together or
I'm
whatever?
glad you're here.
Oh, hey, Chef.
How are you?
Not so bad, and you?
Good. I'm glad you're here.
Thank you. Glad to be here.
Appreciate that. Are you learning something?
Yep.
Are you sure? If not,
Yep.
I'm gonna meet you in the storeroom
Heard.
and I'll look at you in a certain way, right?
Yeah. Look through me.
Yeah. You mean straighten you out?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Whenever personal reasons for working, the bottom line, however, is the most that everybody works for is money. Whenever you call it compensation or salary, bonuses, benefits, money pay the bills, and that's the reality of life. Money provides housing, gives children clothing and food, sends teens to college, and allow leisurely activities, and eventually retirement. I think they need to take that out of this text, is retirement. What do you all think? It would be a good choice of words to leave. Unless you are independently wealthy and you need to work to collect a paycheck. We'd all like to be in that position, wouldn't we? To underplay the importance of money and benefits as no motivation for people who work is a mistake. It may not be the most sufficient motivator. Even the motivational factor they first mentioned in a conversation by earning a living is a factor of any discussion about employee motivation. Sometimes in the beginning of your career, let me explain something. Money is important. I understand you have bills to pay, you have a family to take care of, you have things to go on. A lot of places when you finish from Escoffier, remember, multitasking or multi ways of making a living after your degree of associate's degree. There are going to be some places that don't want to even pay you for your internship. Did you all know that? Any of you, did you know that? Kind of sad. So you need to find, and somebody's going to say, I want you to sage for me, but I don't pay for sages and I don't pay for internship. Well, the reality of life is, guys, if you are wanting to work in that kitchen, there's a lot of restaurants that are very high end. And people will say, if I can say I work in that kitchen, it's on my resume, it's a home run. And they're going to say, well, your extern hours or your externship is 5 weeks or 6 weeks. And you say, I can't live 5 or 6 weeks without money. Very understandable. You could say to them, you know what? Let me show you what I can do. And I will give you 2 or 3 days free. But after that, I need to get paid because I have a life to live. Pretty understandable. Make a deal before you start doing that SAJ and say, I'll prove to you that I can do this. And I want to be here. And he's going to say, nope, I don't pay internship at all. That's a decision that you have to learn in the beginning of your life, not at the as you process, guys, to prove yourself if you're suitable for a job like this. You all understand that? And it's tough sometimes, very tough decisions. But the outlook of that is who? You individually make that decision to make sure that you get to where you want to be. Fair benefits and pay are the cornerstones of success. Companies that recruit and retain committed workers if you provide a living wage for your employees. You can win work or additional motivation issues without the fair living wage. However, you risk losing the best people for better paying employees. Sometimes, you know, I think the high-end restaurants, the one that you want to go to work for, have their nose stuck up in the air because they think they're so good that people are waiting in line to come work there. And they don't realize that you have somebody to support back home. Oh, well, if he wants to work here or she wants to work here, she's going to have to pay a price. Well, whoop-de-doo. Then you have to really make a decision. Is it worth the learning time? Is it worth putting it on your resume? Is it worth working in that environment to make anything work? Decisions. How bad do you have nobody around that you have to worry about paying, or are you alone? Decisions that you have to make. And be motivated yourself to make it work. Now, once you worked your internship, is he going to guarantee that he's going to keep you? That's only fair. I think you've given him that time of his day. Then it's time for him to come through with his request. How true is that? Or is it just working there for free for 6 weeks and then you got to go find yourself something else? Not fair. How do you motivate yourself, or how do you talk to yourself? Does any of you talk to yourself? Ask questions. What is the best for who? For me. Motivate yourself to do what you need to do. And the research says, okay, employee benefits, after you've done your SAJ, am I going to get insurance, health, dental, vision, life insurance, paid up, vacation, sick time, retirement time? I'm not using that one. And the research says, in fact, research from Walton's Worldwide, the Human Capital Edge 21 people management practices your company must implement. Shareholders, I mean, that's just coming up lately. Not a good time to talk about that because our restaurants have to come back. They've really been hurting. Remember, if you're going to go and support what is going on and support our restaurants, we need to go buy it and carry it out if you have some extra. Because they are really hurting. Okay, Money is covered. What's next? Surveys and studies dating back to the 1980s demonstrate that people want more from work than money. Wow, I love it. Remember what I said, learn something every day. If you don't learn something every day, get off the pot and leave. Really important, because if you learn something every day, guess what? You're motivated to go back the next day and learn something else. How many of you want to learn? Every day.
Every day.
If not, I'll see you at school. It's so important for you to learn something every day. An early study shows that thousands of workers and managers of the American Pedagogical Association clearly demonstrates managers predicted that most important motivation aspect of work for people they employed would be money. Instead, it turned out to be personal time and attention from the manager or supervisor are cited by workers as most rewarding and motivational for them at work. Wow. The Workforce article, reward and recognition guru Bob Nelson says more than anything else, people want to be valued for a job well done. Remember what I said, if you are the motivator on that front line, pass it on, don't judge. Because we all need to learn how to pass it on. Judging is the worst. Even when you're applying for a job, people look at you and judge you before they even know what you can do. Give them a break sometimes. Really important. He adds that people want to be treated as if they were an adult human being who the word is what? Can you tell me, James? What is the word? Think. Think. He adds that people want to be treated as an adult human being who think.
Just treated like an adult? Just treated like an adult?
As an adult and think. How many people that are adults think a lot? Some of them don't. Is that true?
Oh, yeah.
They still think they're 18 and they can go and do whatever they want, right? But we have to grow up sometime. Make decisions, try to do the right thing, and they don't need a caretaker watching over their shoulders. While what people want to work is situational, depending on the person, his needs, his rewards, and the meaningful for him. Giving people what they want from work is pretty much straightforward. Marcus, what do you want?
Just to be able to work in an environment that I enjoy.
Good person. Makes you happy, doesn't it?
Every time.
Yeah.
Has anybody worked in an environment that is toxic? Toxic environment, like where you go in and just there's no motivation, there's no one is motivating anybody. Everybody's just kind of,
I can say hell yeah to that.
Yeah, and when you're in that position, or when you're in that you know, it totally affects you mentally, physically, emotionally at home. I know I've been in a position where, you know, positions where, you know, there's lack of motivation, that it's a toxic environment and all of that. And it just truly affects you in general. You know, I mean, just how you deal with things, and, you know, your happiness and your peace, that you, the love that you had for work is now gone because of all of these detractors, all these people that are so negative and not motivated. You know, because I mean, just think about your class. You know, just in a cooking class, I mean, there are people that are motivated to scrub the dishes, and there are people that are motivated to avoid scrubbing the dishes, right? You know, and that adds a lot of stress to people. The people that are self-motivated, and you're just like, I got to pull the slack for somebody and all of that. And it just takes a toll on you. So you've got, and it takes a toll on your actual, what I would consider your motivation. It makes you maybe lose some of that motivation. So you've got to be very careful with that. But I know y'all have all probably been there, but it affects you, and it affects your motivation, and it affects you just in so many ways. So you've just got to be careful with that, and try to motivation is what I consider, it's in the eye of the beholder. It's like beauty. Beauty is in the eye of the beholder, right? What I think is sexy, you might not think is sexy, or whatever, right? So same thing for motivation. People, people get motivated differently, right? You know, some people like a swift kick in the butt. Some people need a pat on the back. Some people need that good job. I'm so proud of you. You cannot, as a manager, when you're managing, you need to, like education, like public school education, for example. You cannot, I mean, you can see cookie cutter operations like they're trying to do for like middle school or grade school or whatever else. It just doesn't work. You know, you've got to motivate as an employer. You've got to help motivate your employees by figuring out what their motivation is. Is it money? Is it extra time off? Is it whatever else? And just kind of help your employees stay motivated and give them opportunities to grow. Because if you're not growing, you're probably not staying motivated. But that's my input. That's my 2 cents. So I'll let Chef Pablo keep going.
Control, thank you. Control of their work inspires motivation, including such as components as the ability to have an impact on decisions, setting clear and measurable goals, clear responsibility for a complete or a least defined task, job enrichment, task performed in the work itself, and recognition for achievement. Wow. To belong to an in crowd creates motivation, including such as receiving timely information and communication, understanding management formulas for decision making, teams and meeting participation, opportunities and visual documentation, posting of work process and accomplishment. Wow. So how important is decision making? The leadership. How can we make our voices heard to the top? Really important. Remember, we may be the ones that are working the line and living in the reality of the world or the restaurant, besides a chef making the decision that sits in the office. You all understand that? And we want to make sure that we're heard. The opportunity for growth and development is motivational and includes education and training, career paths, team preparation, planning, cross-training. I talked about it yesterday. Cross-training people, passing on, be a mentor. The field trips to successful workplaces, understanding another person making or being in the same position that you are, but interpreting it a different way of leadership. Each restaurant has an interpretation of what they call success, of what they call motivation, or what they call leadership. Remember the different ways of transmitting what you want or delegating. How strong, in what way do you want leadership? Leadership is a key to motivation. Like we talked about, a tap in the back. If you're a good leader or a person that makes you, another person, motivated to do a better job.
Have you ever been somewhere?
How many times have you been somewhere and they say, you know what, chef, trust me, I'll do it for you. How many times have you heard that? I have. They want to live up to your chef's or your executive chef's position to make sure that they notice you. So you are doing things to motivate yourself to make your chef look good. Remember, the chef is sometimes the person gets the thumbs up if the restaurant is running good. They think the food, the chef cooked. It isn't. It's the people around him that do the food to make him look good. How true is that? How many of you? You know, you worked in a kitchen. Remember, instead of the chef saying, you know what? It's not me, it's my people or my group or my team that makes me look good. That's a good chef when he says that. So you need to find your leadership to make it work. Andre, are you there?
Yes, chef, I'm here.
Are you good today?
Yes, chef.
Okay. Tired?
Not really.
A little bit?
Yeah, a little bit.
Okay. You're getting some fresh air out there?
Of course.
Okay. I'm just asking.
Thank you, chef.
Oh, you're welcome. Not a problem for me. At least we're up to 20, chef.
All right, Dave. Read this word for me again.
Yeah, I'm sorry, yes.
The ones that are not taking some of the class, are you going back to the recordings to see the class the day before?
Well, I just found out yesterday we could do that.
Yeah, it's a good thing for you to do and reminisce or look at something that you could have missed. Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So leadership is a key motivation. Support, teamwork.
What slide? What slide are we on? Are we on this one?
Don't worry, just stay right there because I'm going to go, I'm reading it online and then I'll come to yours.
Okay.
People want clear expectation that provide a picture that outcomes desired with goal settings and feedback. Appropriate structure of the framework. Remember your 5-year plan talked about? Do you have a plan of what you want to do in the next 5 years? Some of you are not taking this associate's program or taking the culinary field as your life. I get that. I understand that. Because you're taking it because you have an interest in cooking. I get that. A new adventure. But some of you, this is your life, and you are younger to motivate you to get it done. Important, I think. So in 5 years, what is your structure? You could say, well, I'm not going to cook. I don't know what I'm going to do in 5 years. And that's okay. Loretta, you need anything?
I don't, Chef.
Okay. I saw you, the light was around you.
Oh,
so recognition for performance creates motivation. My gosh. You feel like you're on cloud 9 when the chef comes over to you and taps you on the shoulder and says, you know what? You did a fabulous job today. You feel like you're walking on cloud 9, right? How many of you felt that? James, after your Valentine rush.
Yeah, it feels good. One of the sayings I've been told that I learned is like motivation's like taking a bath. It works, but you got to do it. You got to repeat it.
You know, I never heard that, but that's a good one. But a motivation is something that has to keep on ticking. Got what I'm saying?
Yep.
You know how the battery, the ever ready battery, it's got to keep on recharging to make it work.
Yep.
And if you don't have that ever ready battery plugged in, go find one around you that motivates you to do it. People tell me to calm down because I'm too overly motivated. I find jobs for people that don't want to work that much. They want to work, don't misunderstand me. But I think for me, that's my immigrant structure. Do you get what I'm saying? That's not saying that it's a good thing. It isn't a good thing all the time. But I think of being a chef for all these years, there's always that time limit that's ticking off that you got to get ready for what you're supposed to do. The front line, make sure everything is in line. Banquets, you've got to make sure everything is in line. The food is in the hot box. You've got to make sure everything is taken care of. Setting up, ready to go. From 10 people to 500, even 1,500. Got to have a time clock. And if you're the leader and you don't have the motivation, what is your team going to do? Are they going to worry about that 1,500? If they don't have a leader that is motivated to make a move? So you have to inspire and hire people that are motivated to make you look good and themselves look good and their team look good. What do you think about the football players? You don't think they need motivation when they go and start a football game? Wow. How many times have you seen them in a huddle with their hands in the middle and whoa, they leave to get motivated to play a football game? Same thing. Motivation. The requisition. So employees want people who don't perform fired. In fact, failure to discipline and fire non-performance is one of the most dismotivating action or an organization can take. What have I just said all along? Pass it on. Pass it on. Get them motivated to do what you're excited about. Get somebody else. They might have a lot of things that they have to deal with, a lot of issues. that they're going through. Pass it on. It ranks one of the top of the list next to paying poor performers for the same wage as non-performers in deflating motivation. Sometimes you can help, sometimes you can't. But you have to say you gave it your all. Do you all understand? That doesn't mean you take one person and he's not been up to performance. You can help them for a week, you can help them for 2. The 3rd week, then it becomes an issue for you. How many of you felt that sometimes? But then the reality sets in. You get what I'm saying? But you have to have a chance to motivate them first. Deflating motivation. What to know about organization destroying motivation to work. Managers ask about how motivated employees, but employees naturally experience motivation. Ask any employee sometimes in this world rings their chimes. So the challenge for employers is not to destroy the intricate motivation that every employee has about something. Respectability. And the challenge for a manager is to help the employee find a way to experience the motivation at work. The best place to start, make sure that your organization, your job, and your managers are not squashing employees' motivation. You may not control all factors. Remember what I said relating to your employees' motivation. But if you can stop doing these 9 actions, you can stop demonstrating employees at work. So let's take a little break, 10-minute break. Is that all good for you all? Before I start this 9th chapter, let's talk for a second about motivation.
Yeah.
Do you think that's an important factor on a line or in a kitchen? How many of you? Some of you worked in a kitchen. Tell me what you think about motivation.
One thing at Parkside where I work, a lot of times the motivation comes from other people on the line, and that carries a lot more weight than it does
From the executive chef.
From our chef. He's just on the other side of the pass, and he's calling orders and stuff. But a lot of times, like when our lead or even just somebody, just really anybody, just is like, hey man, you did really good on that. I don't know. It feels good, and when you're having a bad time, it helps you remember that, where you're like, okay, I've done this before. I'm in the weeds, but I can get out.
Good thinking. Anybody else?
I mean, that pretty much sums it up. The idea that we can motivate each other and find motivation from our higher ups is a really good thing. I remember in particular one time I was in the weeds. It was really a not good time, and just having one person come up to me and just put his hand on my shoulder and be like, "You all right?" And we figured it out. We got out of it. And it was a mess, but we got it done. And even after just like a really messy service like that, it still felt good. The food came out fine. And I mean, I was still motivated to come back and do the same thing the next day. It was just good.
It makes your balloon pop, doesn't it? To make you feel like you're an important factor in that organization, an important factor in that teamwork, in that place where you go to work every day. Good job, guys. I hope you're learning a little bit today. Really are about motivation. I know you've heard the word 100 times and you sometimes maybe have taken it for granted, but until you break it down to understand what motivation is, then you understand what I'm saying. Got it? How about a 10-minute break? Great, thank you.
It is tiring. But you know what, Mama? Some people love to run. They run and they run and they run.
You ready, Chef?
Yep, I'm ready. So we're going to be talking a little bit about the steps, the best place to start it. Make sure your organization, your job, and your managers are not squashing employees' motivation. You may not control all factors relating to your employees' motivation, but you can stop these by these 9 actions that we're going to be listening about. You will stop making people and your employees at work, motivating them to do it. Number 1, treat employees like children. Employees are adults with lives. They largely manage families, investments, day-to-day living, everything that life entails. Doesn't it seem silly to fail to recognize this at work? Why do so many organizations act like if they need to sell or tell adult employees what to do and micromanage them in every action? Remember, you're hiring people that are capable of doing the job. They've gone to school to understand the job that they're supposed to entail to do. So why start micromanaging them? Number 2, make rules for the many because of the behavior of a few. Wow, that's a really good one. Organizations need policy and rules to create legal, ethical, and effective workplace. They do not need policies to solve every problem, yet so many organizations make policies to prohibit or address the behavior of a few employees. Why burden all the employees with a policy and procedure when you can individually address the behavior of each deadbeat employees? Remember the word over here, and we talked about it before. Take them aside. Don't do it in front of the whole group. It really brings down the motivation of the whole group when you bring it all together, because people think when you talk in a group or in a big section, it's involving all of them. Not. So if that one person that is not in sync, as I would say, you might have to take them individually. Example, chasing the company's overtime pay policy because one person has abused it. Three, focus on mistakes and error, no matter how trivial. This is especially a problem on weekly meetings and during the performance evaluation. Managers must provide balanced feedback, but let it get real. If an employee is making mistakes most of the time, why not fire the employee? The job must be terribly fit for an employee's skill and capabilities. To dwell on it, problem areas destroy the employee's confidence and self-esteem. Remember that pat on the back? That makes you feel really good. Really important for that. Employees make error-prone and make your organization wonder why they promoted you to management. Mistakes aren't a necessary evil. They aren't evil at all. They are inevitable consequences of doing something new. Apply policy unfairly and inadequately. When dealing with issues, your human resources manager will ask you if you applied the same rules. Expectation and disciplinary action on each person on your team. Inadequates are visible for employees who quickly complain, feel picked on, or accuse you of playing favorites, and ultimately sue your employer. When you're a leader, there is no such thing as favoritism, guys. It's equal. Because if you are favoritized or making a favoritism gesture, that is time for gossip. And gossip is negativity. Got to be fair.
Realistic though, Chef?
What?
Is that realistic?
Yeah, it's realistic, but sometimes, you know, when I'm saying favoritism, just because I pick you to do that job doesn't mean I like you better, because you're doing that job to the proficiency that I want you to do it. That's not picking on you to be a favorite. Do you understand?
Yeah, I do understand that.
But if you do a task and you do it so well and it goes so smoothly, and I keep bringing up your name, you'll notice that I bring up some names because I think that it's not favoritism. It's to the point that you need to get that run going smoothly and that line going smoothly. And everybody needs to understand that it's not because of favoritism, it's because as a team, you're making it run smoother. Because you might be perfected in that area and somebody else is perfected in another area. We all can't be great at everything we do as a team. And when you pick teams, you pick people that are strong in certain points. Do you understand, Loretta?
I do understand what you're saying. But what I'm saying is I think it's hard for us not to have, you know, we may try not to show other employees, but I think we all have favorites, you know, but I don't know, that's just
and let me jump in. I think for me is I know who's going to get the job done. And so I pick the person best for who gets the job done. And you know, I mean, I might, but yeah, you have favorites because they don't give you a hassle. They do their job correctly, all of that. So in a way that I mean, is that what you're considering favorites?
Yeah, like I said, I think it's just important that we don't show other employees that we do have favorite people, because we know what they're capable of. And, you know, we know they can get the job done. So that does make people favorite people, you know.
That's not the word favorite that we're talking about. We're talking about being responsible for each job individually to get it accomplished. You can't define that. It could be saying that that's your favorite person to get that job done, and that team will say, oh my God, go get Loretta. She's so good at it. Do you understand my point? And when they understand the team leader, the chef, deciding on one person doing that job because she or he is best at it,
right?
Is that what we're going for?
I got you.
At that point, that's what I was trying to express. That it isn't. It's a favorite, but it isn't favoritism. Get what I'm saying?
I understand.
Okay, you really do now, right?
No, really, I do.
All right, I know, because you were coming across to say favorite, but you know, it's a go-to person for that particular job. Okay. Inconsistency, unreliable actions are taken. Preserved unfair decisions are made by the manager. Employees lose faith and confidence. Their motivation at work disappears, and eventually so they do. So do they. Sorry, that's what I meant to say. Stomp an employee. Innovation and ideas. Oh my. You know, as leaders, we need to be open to suggestions to make anything work. Kimberly was saying, if somebody doesn't tell me, I get the job done. Isn't that right, Kimberly? So what would you think that when you come into that picture and the chef or the leader of the front of the house or the back of the house, it doesn't really matter, puts you in a position and you make it work and you're trying to make it easier for the owner to make it work better. Don't you think you could say, excuse me, could I take a few minutes to talk to you about a different way or a different interpretation of what you told me to do? Do you think that they should be open? Always open. Never be, this is my rule, I lead it. Be open to suggestions of making something work. Roro, where are you?
I'm here, Chef.
Okay. So you have an idea sometimes, you said sometimes they don't want to listen and you have to kind of not go along with the flow, right?
Yes.
If I remember correctly, this is perfect one for you, isn't it? Yes. Why are you
Wait, say-
laughing? Because you
that-
would like to tell the person that's in charge of the owner of the restaurant or wherever, whatever you're doing or wherever you're working, another interpretation that would go with the flow would work better, correct?
Yes.
And sometimes they don't want to listen, do they?
No, ma'am. No, ma'am.
But do
But
you
it's-
think, let me ask you a question. So when you confront your boss or the owner, or whoever's in charge, do you think sometimes when you're talking about ideas, which I love ideas, I'm always open to ideas and any executive chef should be,
Mm-hmm.
do you think it could be the body language of what you're saying across?
Yes.
Okay. Do you think that plays a big thing?
Body language, yes, ma'am. Because
yeah.
I'm very open and I'm very open person. So if I feel like you're not really for the idea, because I like to express my ideas a lot. So, you know, I just body language, yes, ma'am. Body language and just feedback too as well.
Outspokenness.
Yes.
Well, that's one thing they say about me. I'm too outspoken.
No, it's okay. I like when people speak their mind.
You like
What they
that?
think.
How
Yes,
many
ma'am.
people like somebody being honest with them? How many? I'm not seeing those hands go up. Where are you, Andre? Kendricks, where are you? Do you like a pat on the back and not worry about being outspoken?
There's a difference between being honest and being too outspoken. So it just kind of depends on the
Oh,
person.
really? So what would you say the difference would be?
Honesty is something that most people don't have. They just
Honesty?
yeah, most people don't have it only because most people is afraid to speak the truth or speak their mind. Most outspoken people or how can I say it? People who just say stuff that just come out their mouth. They don't think about it or anything like that. They just don't care about the other person's feelings. So it just kind of depends.
Yeah, but when you're outspoken doesn't mean that you're being rude or sarcastic. If you look at the whole overall situation and let the people on the other side determine what you're saying. Correct?
There's a
Yeah.
different way of going about things. I guess the way
Yeah.
you say it. Yeah, the way you say it.
Yeah,
I
pretty
I like
much.
when people say like the way they feel if they don't say how they feel or what they think, I don't like that.
I think also, though, you need to find out the personality of your chef or how he interprets something. Correct?
Yes.
Hendrix, what would you say?
Yeah, like I said, for me, for the most part, when I think of an outspoken person, I think of somebody who's frank or blunt, most than being honest. So, my time in the military, I came across a lot of outspoken people who really just say the first thing on their mind. So, I guess it just kind of depends on the situation, and the person at that time. Me, I'm frank, and most of the time. People say I'm too blunt, but
Don't you think that straightforwardness and frank and blunt is basically the same thing?
pretty much.
Okay. All right. So every employee idea is not worthless. Remember, not every employee idea is going to light your flame or enthusiasm either. But all employees' ideas have merit. Everybody is somebody. Did you hear what I just said? Everything that somebody voices, it's something important. Everybody is a human being and cross talking. If anything else, the initiative and the motivation that inspires an employee to seek to solve a problem. Please, a customer, a worth dealing is worth noting for an employee motivation to work. Every idea deserves a consideration and a feedback. Isn't that right, Roro?
Yes.
You see what I was trying to express? So everybody is entitled to listen and be respectful and think about what the other person is saying. Tell employees that they are empowered when they really are not. Employees learn quickly what you mean by empowerment in your organization. Managers may pay lip service to empower people, but employees know the organization or a chain of command is all the power ruler. In fact, managers may just be unable to make decisions. So don't try to fool them. Let employees know that they are actually in control. Clear expectations trump constant friction. You're destroying less motivation at work by telling the truth and dealing with what is in your organization. The word empowerment means we need to empower people to make decisions that are correct for themselves and the people around them. Violate employee by sharing information improperly. Make sure when somebody entrusts you with something, don't squeal. Learn to zip it. You get what I'm saying? Everybody has something to say. Keep it between you two. If you become friends enough for you to keep it between you two, keep it. I'll tell you, when you start talking about somebody on the line and you'll say, just keep it between us, it's never between you. Never. Because somebody's always ready to go squeal. So if you don't want something said, don't say it. The foundation of an employee relationship with a manager and her motivation to work is trust. Once violated, trust is difficult, even impossible to rebuild. Even a manager shares an employee confidence with other employees. Never repeat. If you're a leader, never repeat. Never tell somebody else something because it doesn't work. Before a manager shares an employee confidence with another employee, he needs to have permission from that employee that he can say something. How many of you knew that? How many? Respectful of each other. Do you know what? We're all not perfect. We all have something to say. And a good business reason must exist. To randomly mention an employee personal business thought or confidence to any employee to serve violation of a manager's ethical responsibility. Secondary damage occurs too. An employee with whom the manager shared the confidential information will never trust the manager again. And she or he will tell the employee with confidence that the manager violated it. Measures accepted at work for employees review that the employee can control. You can control employee motivation at work by focusing on the performance areas that the employee does not control. If parts don't come in for a manufacturing job, for example, it is difficult to execute promised production on time. Sure, the employee can work to ensure that the supplier or any delivered parts on time in the future, but the imminent performance is affected. Managers manage to work for employees, but the family emergency quarantines that they need employers is not at a work to produce. Worst of all, an employee looks at if she is making excuses when in fact her results are summarized by circumstances she cannot control. And last but not least, set unattainable goals and prioritize employees for not meeting them. Goals. Remember, that's why I said a 5-year goal. I like the 10-year goal, but it's not a big thing because it's 10 years down the road. That's a long time. From now to 10 years, you would have probably slept a lot and made a lot of different decisions. Each decision has to be made at the time that it arises. Corporations, especially that ones that practice determining goals or division of the department from the top of the chain of command. This works when the goal setters are constant communication with the doers. The feedback should help frame their goals. But too often the goals are set with a little communication and backfeed. And the people in the fields are distressed from the get-go with the goals that they believe are unobtainable. Where would you say that phrase comes from? Sometimes trying to open a kitchen or a restaurant in 10 days, and they're still trying to put the kitchen in. Kind of hard for goals. Salesmen, when they have this big quarter that they've got ahead of them, how am I going to get there? Where am I going to find the people for sales? How many people do I have to talk before I sell? Wow. But too often the goals are set a little bit with a little communication and feedback. And the people in the field are distressed from getting get-goes with goals that I believe are unattainable. Employees need to participate in setting goals that are acceptable responsibility for achieving them. So when you're setting these goals that you have, get a notebook, write it down at the end of after this class. I want 5 things that motivate you in a kitchen as a homework. You don't have to send it to Chef Cliff. 5 things that motivate you. What would make a difference in your life at your job? 5 things. And I want them as a step. Remember, you make small steps to get to the big steps. Do you all understand? So don't say, I'm going to own a restaurant, or and I'm going to make it work. You can say that at the end of 5 years, but making it possibility in the next year, it is impossible on certain aspects. Now, you might be motivated to get there, I understand. But don't leave it to the point that it is a lot of what you have to be stressful about to get to the other end. Do you all understand? Loretta, do you understand? Small steps of motivation.
Well, I actually had to get up and get a pen, so.
That's all right.
Things for
That's
motivation.
okay.
I got it.
All right. These are some of the top reasons why employees are not motivated to contribute their best effort at work. Sure, there's a lot of responsibility lies in their choices, and each employee makes, but even more responsibility in traceable to the environment the employees create for the employers create for the employees. Wow. Boy, this is a long day today, isn't it?
Yeah, I don't think we're going to be able to get through it all.
No, we're not going to finish it.
Look out, Ken.
Okay. So we're going to have a lot of, let's go see what we can do to what we can get done. So.
Let me put on shoes. Let me put on shoes because I need to punch. I know you want to punch.
While employees understand that the need to provide a work environment and creates motivation, may fail to understand accomplishing the company's mission and vision, even though they understand the importance of motionness. Employees often lack the skills and knowledge to provide the work environment. The 10 factors to encourage motivation: managers and leadership, action to empower, treating employees with respect. Wow, I think that's a big one, I think, individually. Involving employees in decision-making. Roro, you'd be excited as anything. Managing the number of rules and policy in the environment, provide regular employee recognition. Feedback and coaching, wow, good one. Above industry average benefits and comprehension. Managing employees, providing employees with perks. 6 guidelines to motivation, making only the minimum number of rules and policy needed to protect your organization. Publish the rules so people can see. Develop guidelines for managers. Address individual dysfunctional behaviors and on need basis to controlling positive discipline. Clearly, next one, Chevy. Clear communicate and workplace expectations. Involve people to inspire employees, motivation. Most people want involvement in decisions. Perhaps organization leadership in the past didn't provide the tools to help them. Also find out if people who make decisions contribute ideas and reward them in recognition. Empower employees to get involved. Express the expectation of what you are wanting from that person. Reward and recognize people outside. Make sure they get awarded. Make sure employees are aware of organization, the mission statement. Escoffier's mission statement is a great one. We want to empower you all as instructors to go on. Never punish a thoughtful decision. Wow. Never shoot it down. You say it's open for discussion. If you see an employee embark on a course or action you know will fail or cause a problem for a customer, intervene as a coach, not a dictatorship. Helpful hints: if you are generally open for ideas and feedbacks, let them know it. Why? Why is this decision can be improved, the feedback. Examine your belief about people. Majority of people do not get up in the morning to go and come to work with intention of causing a problem. If they do, you set them aside and talk to them one-on-one, not in front of everybody. Do you all get it? Don't care who it is. Never demonize somebody. Motivation is one of the things that separate failed restaurants from successful ones. If your cooks and servers are at a restaurant and are frustrated and unmotivated, there is only because they're there for a paycheck. The next one, Chevy. The food and service will suffer. If they feel invested in the company, they will give it all and produce a great. What else is there? Fear. What did the potential say about the fear as a motivator? It's effective or non-effective. Which one do you think is fear? Effective or non-effective? Tell me, James. Nobody? How about, tell me, is fear a good thing or not?
I think fear is non-effective.
It's not effective. I agree with you.
Not
Never
alone.
put fear.
You get quick results from it, but not you don't get long-term results. It don't benefit anybody in the long run.
You might get it for that 5 minutes, and then afterwards, he's not going to like you at all, is he?
Exactly.
The chef. I agree. Fear is not the way to go. Fear, the absolute simplest method of motivation is through fear. Do your job well, or else. I don't like the word or else. Keep in mind, though, that each emotional style is another tool in your toolbox. If you don't normally use fear as a motivator, informing your employees we need to get it done or else we are going to lose our jobs can be an effective motivator. And sometimes that's true because your boss is hearing from somebody else. Get it done. That's all I care about. Get it done. No matter how hard it is. Carrot and stick describe the method of motivation. What is unspoken message of the carrot stick, and what type of leadership can carrot and stick as well as fear? Wow, good way of interpreting it, isn't it? Always having the carrot in front of somebody. The carrot and the stick method is a little bit more complicated. Just than just using fear. If you don't do your job well, you'll get fired, or if you are doing your job well, and a chance of raise and advancement in the company. While the stick and the carrot method is more involved, involving the fear, it isn't as much as the carrot is the promise of achievement. But it's always dangling out there for the reach. The unspoken message of the carrot and the stick: do well and give you a promotion when you feel it. Employees have no control over standards and what they're being held to. They're afraid. They have no idea that they're doing is good enough, as long as they have to wait to get a raise in a way. It's even more pressure on the employees than motivation than fear. Both fear and the stick and the carrot motivation method are generally used autocratic leadership because how well they go together. Hygiene motivation theory. Do hygiene factors motivate or demotivate? Why? Hygiene motivation theory. One of the main theories in the study motivation in Frederick's Hillsburg hygiene motivation theories. According to the theories, there are two kinds of factors that influence motivation: hygiene factors and motivation factors. A key to employees' productivity and making sure hygiene and motivations are provided. There are certain expectations, and basically all workers have a basic to all jobs. The baseline of working conditions: if you work in a room that isn't air conditioned in the summer and you don't get paid enough to live on, and the equipment is so outdated it is dangerous, it could be unmotivated. But having air conditioning or a baseline salary or safe equipment isn't the factor that can motivate by itself. There are some hygiene factors in a workplace: basic salary, safe working environment, comfortable working environment, leadership, and having clear goals. Motivational factors and hygiene factors: pay, company policy, fringe benefits, physical working conditions, status, interpersonal relations, job security, sense of achievement, growth opportunities, responsibility, manufacturers at work. Motivational factors are anything that actually motivates employees to work. Every employee has a reason to get up in the morning. Hopefully, the reason of getting up in the morning, sometimes that keeps them going in a work instead of staying in bed all day. I love waking up in the morning. Any of you love waking up early in the morning to get motivated to work? You feel good. How many go back to bed after we get through with the class? You better not be putting that finger up or your hand up. Everybody gets motivated enough to do things, right?
Nope, I go back to bed.
Oh, Kimberly, you go back to bed?
Yep, I go back to bed until noon and then I wake up and I go to work.
Okay. Oh, so you do work though. And what time do you work till?
I go from noon to 5, so.
5 o'clock?
Yeah.
Okay. Are you working in a, where are you working?
It's like a computer thing. Like we're doing work from home right now.
Correct. So you're working from home from 1 to 5?
From 12 to 5.
12 to 5 at home?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Motivation factors are already the activity that motivates employees to work. Every employer has a reason to get up in the morning. Money is part of it. We like to do extra stuff, right? We like to go out and have something to eat. We like to go have a drink. We like to go and see a show. We like to go see a football game. We like to go do things, even though we're restricted right now, but that's what we dream for. Did a lot of you get your checks yesterday? Hopefully. Your unemployment checks, are you all set on that? Everybody need help with that? Everybody registered?
I need them to hurry up.
Well, they will. They're trying to work.
I know.
It's a really tough situation. We're not talking about 100 people. We're not talking about 1,000 people. We're talking about 1 million people.
But what she's getting at, Chef, is just because they take their time with the check, the bills don't take their time. They keep coming.
Oh, I totally understand that. Totally understand that. I get it. I understand. It's not an easy thing. Really, it isn't. And it's hard today, especially if you have families and you have people around. But hopefully you have people around that can help you, support you to where you can get to.
Well, actually, no.
Is that you, Roro? Who said that?
Loretta.
Oh, Loretta, okay. Well,
I'm not complaining. I'm just saying.
I know, I understand. Motivation. Describe the following: motivators, ability, motivation, and attitude. Oh my gosh. Remember we talked about it. Attitude is the whole thing of making anything work. Determines how well you do it. Requisition. There are two types of people that want more than money. And praise. Remember what I said, if we're in this business, we like to be center. But Jonas has told me, and I understand his standpoint, to say we don't maybe want recognition for what we do, but we want to make sure we put a wow factor in there. So you understand the difference a little bit of being noticed. Two different versions of way of saying it. I don't like people, like I said before, to recognize me personally, but I want them to know I made it. You get it? Employees' motivation by recognize for the work that they do. They will do work as long as their good work is noticed. And their employees, especially important to praise because it means most to them. If they're not praised, they tend to only bear minimum at work since they go unrecognized. Not a good way of doing it. Responsibility. Wow. Being in control of your own behavior, being trusted in important jobs, having your work finished on time, doing your part when working together. Responsibility. Employees motivated by responsibility feel that the work that boss gives them shows the importance in the company. They seek the importance to prove their value in the company and to themselves. These employees want to feel like they've been relied on. Remember, not favoritism. We're coming back to that word again, Loretta. Got it?
Got it.
Relied on. So they can give it to them. Achievement. Wow. Remember that 5-year plan. What have you achieved in that 5-year? High achievement always takes place in the work frame and high expectations. Achievement. Employees motivated by achievement are always looking for new challenges. They often set their own goals and refuse accept anything good enough. How many times have you come to a chef and said, what do you think? You've done that cooking and you feel like your chest, your shoulders are back and your chest is out, and you come to a chef and you say, Chef, what do you think? The power of achievement. And what does the chef say? It's all right.
Good enough.
Anybody said that to you, Jonas? It's all right. And you're going to say to them in your mind, is he crazy? It's awesome. Are you laughing? Do you understand what I just said? So achievement only comes with humility, doing more than you ask for. Remember, sometimes you go for a blunt question. If you go and ask somebody, you'll know what the answer would probably be, because he never gives a good remark to any dish that is there, because he always thinks there's something better. Some employees want the prestige and the power to come, having a high level position in the workplace. The motivation for these employees give them opportunity for promotion, which they work hard and earning. The work itself is what motivates me. I love my own stuff, you know. I like the way it looks. I do it to please myself first. But then why would you go ask somebody what you thought if you already think that that is what your answer is going to be saying? Somebody's going to say to you, it's all right. Don't go away crying because you're in the wrong field, guys, if you're going to ask somebody how it is and the answer is it's all right. To some employees, just doing their job is satisfaction. Working in a culinary world isn't easy, and many people in this industry, especially cooks, do not do it because they love to work and they love it. Is money as good motivator as a hospitality industry? Success isn't as much money you make, it's a difference on how you make it in people's lives. Money, the motivation of surprising rare in hospitality industry. Most chefs, even in the ones we charge at restaurants, don't make very much money. That what draws people to the field is a passion for food. How many people think they make a lot, that chefs make a lot of money? How many people? I want to see how many hands go up. Boy, they better not be any hands. Because really, in essence, guys, we don't make much money for the amount of work that we do. The X and Y theory, the theory of X and the theory of Y. Y management style is associated with theory X and the management style associated with theory Y. Theory X and Y. In 1960, MIT managed Professor Douglas McGregor developed an idea of X and Y. Motivating employees to work, he argued that time, the common management philosophy. Theory X, that workers don't want to work and have to be forced to do it. However, in arguing, theory Y was more accurate. Workers want to do well in their jobs and feel accomplished to obtain a self-respect. If you give employees the opportunity to feel fulfilled by their job, they'll do it happily. The theories tie in different management types, styles. You believe that most people conform to theory X, and you likely take an autocratic management style. If you believe most people conform to theory Y, then you're likely to laissez-faire management skills. Which one is right? The answer, both are. Some people enjoy their work and can be motivated by the sense of purpose and determination. While some people have to be pushed a little, and many people are motivated by the same theory. One of the responsibility as a manager is figuring out when to supply each theory or each employee, which each tools use as a result. Human relations. What are the hearts of human relation theory? An effective or non-effective way to motivate people. Human relation theory is a heart and treating employees like people, like decent human beings, and meaning to get to know your employees and figuring out what motivates them. That is really an important factor, I think. What is their strength and what is their weakness as an individual, not as a clique. Human relations theories go beyond finding employees' motivational factors and motivating them accordingly. Human relation theory is one of the most effective ways of inspiring employees to work hard. Got to agree with me with that one. Culture. What is a company's culture? Who mainly sets this culture? In the manager or the employee? The culture of the family feels that the company and how they act as a result. And you as a manager see that maybe more than you realize. They know whatever they're going to do, make reactions from you. Cultures follow closely from different leadership styles. Autocratic leadership style provides a culture of uncertainty and fear. Employees don't know if they're keeping their jobs, or they don't know if they're going to keep them in the first place. On the other hand, other leadership styles can produce the culture where employees feel valued by the company and invested in company success. Thus, the things you do and the policy you want to implement should be the purpose of creating culture. Reward employees by taking an initiative and being creative. Do motivation worksheet handouts. Remember what I said, I need 5 things for motivation. Homework. Read chapter 10, discipline, watch the videos on training. What do I want for homework, guys? So what is the takeaway? What is your takeaway about motivation? Anybody? Mark.
I'm always in a good mood, Chef.
What?
I said I'm always in a good mood. I'm always motivated just every day, waking up. Like I enjoy just living. So I try to motivate others. Yes, ma'am.
I feel like motivation is very important because it can either make or break your establishment, especially your crew. If your crew's not motivated, there's only so far that you can go. You know what I'm saying? I feel like the person that's like the manager is supposed to be motivated. It's supposed to be like a trickle effect. A domino effect. So if I got motivation, it should be contagious. You know what I'm saying? Like, especially like your guests, not your customers, your guests. You know what I'm saying? So if they see you motivated and positive and stuff like that, they're gonna be like, oh snap, I'm having a fucked up day, but I came into your establishment and it's it's light and it's awesome food. So it's very important.
I like what you just said, guest instead of customer.
You feel?
I love that line. I really, I pick up on stuff that you all say because that's what I learned from. And if we can say guest instead of customer, then they come across the feeling that what we're having.
Right. They feel
You get
important.
it? And that's the wow factor of being the center or being what we try to do best.
Yep.
Remember, that is a key word of making people come back to your restaurant or where you cook. It doesn't have to be your restaurant, but where you cook is your interpretation of what you do.
Yeah.
And they come back for that because they know that that quality ingredient, hopefully that you're using, that where you're working, is making it also possible of your dream of what you're adding, how to cook. Love it. I love the guest idea.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I've been thinking too, like, you know, after this, you know, COVID pandemic is over with and all this stuff like that, you know, like how is like, you know, the operations and stuff like that, you know, for restaurants is going to change, you know what I'm saying? Like, I know it's going to be more stricter on, you know, safety policies and stuff like that, you know? So I would like to, you know, about
I
that.
think the health department, it's going to help the health department an awful lot
Yeah. Yeah.
to bring it all together because, you know, people were getting laxed. You know, I'm going to tell you, I worked in a bakery that is still open. Well, they're not open today really so much, but I worked in a bakery that the sewer line would back up and we had to wear boots in the kitchen here in Austin, Texas. But he was an attorney that owned the restaurant and the bakery, and all his friends were on the health department. It's kind of sad, isn't it? So this was probably a lot of years ago, but it really happened. So this is now, people need to be aware of what the responsibility of they are to have good guests come in to eat. Get it? Matthew, you have something to say?
Oh no, I'm just taking it all in.
Are you? Okay. Randall, are you okay?
Yeah, I'm good. Just listening.
Just listening? You learned something today?
Yeah, sort of, kind of. I
What do
mean,
you
all
mean?
this stuff is like all
I
this
like
stuff
that
is like a
smile.
refresher.
Huh?
All this stuff we talking about, leadership and motivation, all this is just a refresher.
It's a refresher, right?
Yeah.
You were in the service, weren't you?
Yes, I was.
Yeah. So you know about leadership, right?
Yeah.
And motivate. I think a lot of you were in the service.
Spent 10 years in the Army. I was a sergeant for 7.
Oh my gosh. So it's Hup 2-3? I'm only kidding. Only kidding. Only kidding.
It's all good. It's all good.
It's all good though, right?
Yeah.
So you were in there for probably 10 years, weren't you?
10 years, yeah.
Wow. Was it hard at times?
Oh, most definitely it was. Yeah, it was hard at times.
Was it a good decision?
It was. I enjoyed it, you know. Life is ups and downs. Ups and downs.
But you learned a lot
Oh, most definitely.
and you thought a lot.
Yes.
Think.
Yes.
Okay. I know who else. Kendricks, you were in the service, weren't you?
Yes, I was, Chef.
Yeah. How long were you in?
3.5 years. Then I got hurt.
Oh, you did? Sorry.
Yes.
How's your puppy?
He's good. He's eating right now.
Is he?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, anyway, so really motivation is a key factor of really having a great relationship with your crew, a great relationship of the kitchen. Remember 5 steps for motivation that I want you to write on, and we'll be talking about it tomorrow. And that's your homework for tonight. Any other questions that you all need to know? Marcus, are you okay?
Oh, I'm good, Chef. I might have a question about the project, though.
Okay.
What you say homework for tonight for your Chef?
Yeah, that's homework for tonight. Just the motivation, not the project for the end of the restaurant. The sheet,
slide.
Pardon?
You said the slide motivation.
Yeah, I just want you write down on a piece of paper the 5 things you want to motivate yourself. Say in the next year what you want.
Oh,
That's too
Oh.
far ahead for me.
Too far ahead?
Oh yeah.
A year?
I live by the moment, not by the future.
Okay.
I live my life a quarter mile at a time.
Bro, get off. Nobody likes you, man. Get off. Don't show your face no more.
Man, shut up.
Who are
Show
you
your
talking
face. How about
to?
that?
Dre,
Is he talking to you? You're gonna put up with that?
he don't got no choice.
That's my brother at arms.
Oh, is it?
Yep.
Good thing. It's always good, honey. It's always good to smile at things around you and motivate you to work, right?
I swear. Dre, my motivation.
Okay. So, 5 things.
Okay.
I want it within the year.
Okay. I can do that.
I think that's pretty fair to understand where you want to be. We've already looked at your 5-year plan.
As long as it ain't 5 to 10 years ahead, then I'm good.
Okay, well, I want this year, Kendricks. So that's what I want, and to make it sure.
Okay. I can do that.
Mia, did you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, you still tired?
No.
Are you okay?
Yeah.
You don't say too much. You let these men take control. So why don't you say something? You're
I mean-
quiet always?
Yeah, usually. I mean, I talk when people talk to me, yeah, or if I need to, but
But I don't see your face, see, and I can't.
my camera doesn't work.
It's all right. I understand. But you see, for me, I have these pictures in front of me, and then I just have these names. You get it?
Yes.
Okay. Roro, are you okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right. You're smiling still, I know.
Always.
Elle, are you okay? Rena, you okay?
Yeah, I'm okay.
Are you,
Sorry.
you're not a talker. Rena, you're not a talker, are you?
No.
I thought so. Trenton,
Yes, ma'am.
are you still around? Why is your
Trent.
picture there? Oh my gosh, he's a handful, isn't he?
Hi. Morning.
Where's your hat? Take it off.
Get her done.
Thank you.
Here.
And where's your white shirt?
White
You don't
shirt.
have any?
Don't have one.
Okay.
I'm actually getting ready to go to work right now.
Oh, are you?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Everybody know what we got to do for tomorrow? And I'm going to bring your name out for it. So I would love you to be here. What was the word that we talked about today, James? What did we talk about all day long?
Motivation.
You like it?
I did. Yep. Yeah, not a bad one. Pretty good one today.
Well, good. Anybody else? Marcus, you okay? I know you're a motivated kind of guy. I know it. I can feel it.
Yes, chef.
I understand. So I'm glad you all here with Chef Cliff and myself. Loretta, thank you.
You're welcome, Chef.
And did you color your hair?
Yes. I mean, not since class started, but
Maybe I haven't noticed it till now.
yeah, it's colored.
It just looks brighter today.
Yeah, it does look lighter today. I'm not the only one, right?
Yeah, see,
No.
got a job to
It
do.
might be the lighting.
Oh yeah, maybe it is the lighting.
Oh.
But you all noticed that I have the white hair, right? The light shines on it to make it brighter.
No, light shines on my head.
Does it? Or is
Yes.
it just scalp?
Oh wow. I got hair. It's just all under my thoughts. I think too much.
Is that what it is? So are you telling me that I think too much?
You don't think enough, chef. If you think too much, you'll be bald like me. And we don't want that. I like your hair.
Oh, okay. And I don't even have to dye it.
Go,
My
go
son-
ahead, Kendrick, dig that hole.
My sons have made me earn it. Do you hear me? That's okay.
I lost my hair at 18, so it went to my face instead. So I'm good.
Okay, but maybe you mistook it and shaved your head instead of your face.
True.
Yeah. Well, I love today. Remember, motivation is a key word. Pass it on and motivate somebody else.
Hey, Chef.
Don't judge. Chef Cliff, you can take. Say.
Yeah. So while we were in this Zoom, sorry, my dog's wanting food. So when we were in this Zoom meeting today, it sounded like some people got kicked off and then it was locked coming back in. So if that happens again, please text me, but I'm going to try to get that fixed. But other than that, I think, oh, and day 7, I put in grades for day 7. My apologies.
All right.
So
Thank you a lot for being here today. Loved it. Tomorrow is another day. Remember your assignment, 5 things for motivation. And you all going to tell me tomorrow for sure, because I'm going to make sure you do. And please come, because we only have 16 today. We were up to what, 21? Chef.
Yes,
We were
I'm sorry, I'm with myself because my dog. Yes, we were at 21.
But we need to be at 29, guys. So make sure that we all pay attention. And if you know somebody that's been in this class, call them, text them. And I will call and text them too. And you don't want to see my eyes in the morning if you're not here. Because all I have to do is look. Trenton, you know that already.
Yes, ma'am.
And Robert, no. They're smiling because they know me right away, don't they? So, love it that you're here. Thank you again. Have a great day. Make it something that you enjoy today and make it work. And remember, peace or whatever that Roro was doing up there, down there, it doesn't matter. I'm ready to learn anything or any
Deuces.
peace language or whatever it is. I'm ready. You can
It
all
deuce.
smile.
It deuces, Chef, not peace.
What?
It deuce.
What does that mean?
What you just did with your fingers, that mean deuce. A
What does
form
that
of
mean?
saying goodbye.
Like, see you later.
Yeah.
Oh,
Peace
see you
out.
later.
It's like the same thing as peace. Like peace
It's
out.
like peace out, but people say deuces or deuce.
Listen, I'm learning something
I don't know.
all the time.
That's
What does this mean?
What?
What?
Peace up, A-Town down.
Oh God, I knew you about to say that.
God damn it.
Okay. Everybody smile. Bye.
Bye, guys.
Bye, guys.
Bye. Have a great day.
Hey, you too. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye,
God bless
Chef.
and be safe.
Be safe. Bye,
Bye,
guys.
Chef.
Bye, guys.
So Chef Cliff, I think we went through the assignment, which was, once I saw that, I needed to underlay, as they would say in Spanish.
Yeah, but you did great. You did
Okay.
great. Thank you,
So-
Chef.
And if you need me to do anything, I will do whatever it takes.
No, I'm good. I'm good. I got it.
Okay, another couple of things, but we will go over the 5 things that we requested of the students.
Yeah.
Motivation. And all the other stuff that we needed to get done for what we need to get done. But I think it was a good day, and
It was a great day.
I probably got to go to Goodwill today and take 17 boxes of books.
Oh, wow.
Turn in. I've been in my office for all the years that I've kept recipes and stuff. So and books that I don't want anymore.
Well, good. Well, have a great day, Chef. I'll
All
see
right.
you tomorrow.
I'll see
Bye-bye.
you. Bye.